Hey, Derek, that Groovy Scoobcast is a dog.
I know she ain't gorgeous, but you shouldn't call her names. Welcome, guys, to that Groovy Scoobcast.
Your go-to audio hub for all things Scooby-Doo.
My name's Derek.
And I'm Shannon.
And today we are going to be reviewing 3 short episodes from the second Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show. These episodes being Beauty Contest Caper, Stakeout at the Takeout, and Runaway Scrappy. I have mixed feelings today. Interesting batch, I will say, for episodes.
Yeah.
Also take note, guys, that we are reviewing a Yabba-Doo episode today, not just the Scooby and Shaggy trio. We are doing one that involves Deputy Dusty and Yabba-Doo, which I'm always welcome to. It's something different, something we don't see often on here.
I love Yabba.
Yeah. I always forget that he breathes fire.
Yep.
But
he's a firebender.
We'll get to that as we do. We will kick off this week's Mystery Machine Match, our weekly trivia competition where Shannon and I try to figure out which one of us knows Scooby-Doo better than the other. Currently, I have 11 points while Shannon sits with 9. So you're not too far behind me.
No, I'm coming for you.
Okay. Well, let's get right into it. You know, I'm not even going to argue. As always, Shannon, you can go first today.
In Scooby-Doo's All-Star Laugh Olympics, the team had to race to the top of what famous London landmark?
What, is Big Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing you know in London.
That's true. What Middle Eastern country is the site of a sand sail race in Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics?
It's not going to be like Iran or Iraq or anything.
No.
All right. I don't know.
It's Israel.
Okay.
I knew you wouldn't even guess it. It's okay. I'm not faulting you because I wouldn't either.
No, there's just that whole area is just desert. Yeah. There's 9 places that could be.
What's your next question?
What name did Joseph Barbera go by when writing different theme songs for Scooby-Doo? Joseph Rowland or Denby Williams?
It's the Joseph one, right?
Yes.
Cool. Here is your next question. Sugar Ray, the band who appears in the Scooby-Doo movie, is known for what song? Fly or Boombastic?
Fly?
It is Fly.
I've never heard of Boombastic.
It's fine. I'm not really familiar with Sugar Ray anyway, so I don't know. What's your last question?
I honestly think I remember that from the last time the card came up. Because I remembered Sugar Ray, and I was like, yeah, okay.
I do need to look into more trivia questions for us.
But I'm doing better this
Yes. Just when Shannon's finally getting the edge, the game changes.
My life. What is the name of the mysterious Swami the gang meets, and what the hex is going on? Rasputin or Svengali?
Svengali.
Yeah.
Rasputin was a real person, so we'll let that be. Here's your last question. In a creepy heap from the deep, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo hide in what nautical vessel? A submarine or a battleship?
A battleship.
No,
it was a submarine.
We saw this episode.
I know, it took me a second. I was like, oh, I know that. I didn't.
I'll give it to you.
I haven't slept in 4 days.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
So today you picked up 2 points. I picked up all 3, bringing our totals to 14 and 11. So the lead widened a bit, but...
So I'm not coming for you.
Nope.
Not coming for the crown this week.
Nope. You and empty threats.
Ouch.
Just saying.
Owie, that one hurt.
All right, well, we'll move on to our reviews. Do you want to do Beauty Contest Caper first?
Yeah, I have that one first.
All right. Here's a premise for the episode coming from Scoobypedia. When contestants turn up missing at the Miss Earth Beauty Contest, the Fearless Detective Agency is hired, and Shaggy goes undercover as Miss Antarctica to find out what happened.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what happens.
This was my least favorite of the 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Stakeout at the Takeout was my least favorite.
Really? Okay. Yeah. That one was actually my middle
Okay, this
favorite.
Was my middle one.
Okay. Yeah. We start off with just Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy at the Fearless Detective Agency. They're about ready to go for lunch, and Shaggy's making it a really serious point that, they are no longer letting clients get in the way of their lunch.
Apparently this is an issue.
I agree, though. I mean, once it's lunch hour, it's lunch hour.
Listen, once it's lunch hour, I don't answer the phones anymore. You can keep calling my desk. I won't answer.
Well, like, when I clock out for work for lunch, while I'm working at home right now, I have to, like, message the chat for my immediate team and just be like, hey, guys, I'm going for lunch. That way they know, like, for the next hour or so, they're probably not going to hear back from me. So, like, tough luck. But
when I worked in an office, I would just straight up, like, because we were all in, like, one room. So I'd kind of just stand up and go, I'm going to eat. and then like people would come find me and I would just, so then I started, it was a thing. I started hiding on my lunch breaks. It was a whole.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, I left that job.
Well, Shaggy's solution is making a out to lunch sign, which, okay. But then don't put it on the inside of the door where the customers can't see it.
Yeah.
You know, because I imagine you're going to lock the door when you leave.
And customers are just going to be confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Bulgaria? Bulgravia. Okay. Yes. Miss Bulgravia.
I thought it was Bulgaria too. Yeah. I had to look.
But she comes slamming in. I mean, I don't know anyone that opens a door that aggressively. So
the Bulgarians do.
Apparently. But so she's competing in the Miss Earth competition. And there were 7 contestants until this Monkey Man guy showed up. I said Monkey Man.
I called it the Gorilla Man in my notes.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was.
We never find out what it is.
He's just a really hairy man, guys, with a red t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Like,
at one point, Scrappy asks him, are you a man or a monster?
Because it's really unclear.
You don't know. So this monster Monkey Man shows up and just starts stealing the contestants. Terrifying. So then Scrappy's like, yeah, we'll take it. We're good to go. We'll take your case.
Right. So they disguise Shaggy as a woman to enter the contest, and Shaggy's making a huge fuss about it.
Because he always has to go undercover. He's always the one to dress like a lady.
He's the only human there, so like, what does he think is gonna happen?
You can't have a dog dress as a lady, because then that's gonna go so south when they're like, first off, you're not a lady. Second off, you're a dog.
Right. Well, I mean, they had the same issue in the Yabba-Doo episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll get to that when we get to it. I also wish that they had put more effort into Shaggy looking like a conventional 1970s, 1980s woman. Yeah. Hence, maybe shave his beard. Yeah. For starters, you know.
Just for starters.
I did like, though, that when Scooby and Shaggy were getting him all dolled up at the hotel where the contest is being held, they put a blonde wig on him, and Shaggy's just like, I feel like more of a redhead.
Shaggy got heated about it. He was like, I'm not a blonde. I'm a redhead. And and Scooby just picks up the blonde wig and puts on a red wig and puts the blonde wig down, and that was the end of the story.
At least his needs are being met on how he wants to appear.
I guess so, yeah.
When he's being changed into a woman. So yeah, he goes and enters the contest as Miss Antarctica, because I imagine a would
He didn't even get on stage, though.
No, he never was. No, because he was on his way to stage.
The Monkey Man steals him in the hallway.
Yep, he was on his way to the stage, and yeah, he got kidnapped by the Monkey Man.
So he didn't even get to compete.
Nope. I wonder how he would have competed.
He would have pulled a Miss Congeniality, I feel it.
Possibly. So Scrappy and Scooby, they go running after the Gorilla Man carrying Shaggy, and they go down a laundry chute.
The Gorilla Guy just throws Shaggy down the laundry chute. He's like, okay, bye.
Right. I just remembered something that I just wanted to say. When Miss Bulgravia was in the detective agency and she was describing what's happening to the contestants, and like we see like a flashback seeing the Gorilla Man taking one of the women, I like that when he grabbed her off stage. For one, like everyone can see that just happen and no one does anything.
No one did a thing.
But then also when they're backstage and he's carrying her, she's not screaming or anything. She's just given up.
She's like, all right, this is my life.
I didn't write that down, but I just remember it vividly at this moment, and I just wanted to make that known. So Shaggy is, going down this laundry chute, and the Monster Man follows him, and the dogs follow them. They land in a sink or a washer or something, and what was it? I think it was the Monster Man putting Shaggy in a cage.
Yeah.
I like that Shaggy was segregated from the other women.
Well, to be fair, when the Monkey Man first grabbed Shaggy, first off, Shaggy was the only one who put up a fight, so maybe that's why he was segregated. That we saw. But as he's being carried away, Shaggy yells, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. look at me, women don't have beards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I was like, well, maybe he was like, at the very least, you're not identifying as a woman, so I will segregate you in your own cell so that you're not stuck with the women. I thought that was okay. That was a thing that happened.
I just like that there's like 7 women in one cage.
Yeah, and then just Shaggy. Just Shaggy.
Now, I made a note that Miss Belgravia had said there were 7 contestants in total, which should include her, right? But there's 7 women in the cage. Not including Miss Belgravia. She's not in the cage.
Maybe she wasn't an initial contestant, but then they had to, what,
did they just, like, call her in? Like, as a backup?
Like, yeah, because, like, once...
Like a runner-up?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she ought to be a runner-up because Belgravia isn't even a real fucking place.
No, but Africa is.
We'll get to it. We'll get to that. So, Shaggy is in the cage. Scooby and Scrappy decide to blow a bubble out of the water that they're chilling in. So Scooby can float on the bubble.
It is a giant bubble.
It is a giant bubble. And very durable.
Yeah.
It took him all the way up to the cage. Scooby picks the lock. Shaggy is freed. The Gorilla Man returns.
So wait, so before he gets the door completely unlocked, the Gorilla Man comes up and Shaggy goes, I'll try and buy you time. And he takes off his wig and then throws it at the Gorilla Man and goes, take that! And then turns to Scooby and goes, hurry up! And I was like, that's the most you could do? Like, he got so mad about it.
I mean, to be fair though, Shannon, that does sound like something you would do if we were in this situation.
No, listen, I carry weapons on me.
Okay. So, yeah, the Gorilla Man, it chases all 3 of them, and Shaggy and Scooby are now in an elevator. The Gorilla Man's trying to get in, but Scrappy's, like, blocking his way or something. They manage to get out of the elevator, and he gets duped into it. The door closes, and then Shaggy just pulls this switch that's just on the wall, and evidently it just traps him in there because it just shut down the entire elevator. That's really dangerous.
Also, there was a second elevator, and what if somebody was in that one?
This is just screaming like fire hazard.
Yeah, like that's terrifying.
I'm mortified to be that individual who gets trapped in this elevator because Shaggy turns it off.
No, I couldn't. So then Miss Belgravia comes up and she's like, oh, like, you did it. Cool. You're going to be real bummed about this. And then she, like, turns it back on. And we find out that the monkey man's name is Bruno.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so she's like, Bruno, get him! And then he chases off towards Shaggy and Scooby. And Scrappy stands there for a second and goes, traitor. And then, like, bolts back after him. And I died. I had to watch that like 3 times. I was laughing so hard.
No, I didn't catch that he had a name.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Belgravia is in on it so that she can win the contest. So they manage to catch them. Scrappy like vandalizes their faces with makeup.
Yeah. Yep.
Just being like a haha, take that.
Yeah.
And
icing on top of the cake.
The episode ends with all of them on stage, and all the women are like just super happy that they're saved. And this is when I noticed Miss Africa, the only black lady in the crowd. Africa, this may come as a shock to some of you, is not a country. It is a continent, a geographical collection of countries, and she represents them all.
Yep.
I guess.
So Miss Africa stands there next to Miss Paris.
And France.
Miss USA.
Miss England. I think there was a Miss Australia, too.
Yep.
Miss Africa. I was so mad. Like, I didn't like this episode all that much to begin with, and then that happened. And I'm just like, oh, yep. I'm going to dock 5 points.
5 points. The girls pay Shaggy and Scooby and Scrappy by kissing them, like a whole bunch of times.
They were like real aggressive, like wet sounding.
Yeah.
Too.
The noises, I wanted to vomit. It honestly reminded me of like ASMR when people are like eating like honeycombs in the microphone, and it's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Take that out. It's so gross. It's so gross. And no. It was gross.
That's all I have for this episode.
Yeah,
Can we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to move on to Steak Out at the Takeout?
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the premise for that episode coming from Scoobypedia. The detective agency is hired by Mutual of Toledo, an insurance company, to find out who stole the golden coins, and the only clue is some special burger sauce left at the scene of the crime. The guys soon discover that Hamburger Haven has the same sauce, so they get jobs there to go undercover. I have a couple questions before we really delve into this.
Okay.
An insurance company is hiring them to find stolen gold coins. Why does an insurance company have gold coins?
Were the gold coins stolen from the insurance company?
I think so.
Okay, because my thought was that, like somebody else had them insured through that insurance company, and then they were reported stolen.
Yeah, but the insurance company wouldn't be
No, it'd be up
going
to the...
this far to get that back.
No, they would just pay out the money, and, like, it'd be up to you to find your shit. Or you'd have to call the police. Like, if anything, the police need to...
That's my next point. This sounds like more of a FBI thing. Like, they have a division of the FBI that's dedicated to, like, financial crime.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that the FBI should be dealing with, especially when we see at the end of the episode that the money is being smuggled out of the country.
Yeah, it's international.
Like, it's going to, I don't remember where they said, like, Mexico or something. I don't know. But, like, they're being smuggled out of the country. This is an international thing. I think the feds need to be involved, not the fearless detective agency.
Yeah.
Mutual of Toledo, get on your shit.
Now, did you catch the uncle's name?
Uncle Fearless.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So my question is, the Fearless Detective Agency is the uncle's agency?
Yeah, I thought we've talked about this
okay.
before.
We probably have.
Yeah,
I just forgot.
This isn't Shaggy's company. This is his uncle's.
Okay.
They just work for it.
Gotcha. Okay. There's a special tartar sauce that's on the burger.
Or some kind of a sauce,
No, that's what it is. It's
is it
tartar sauce.
Okay.
Who puts tartar sauce on a burger?
I don't like tartar sauce to begin with.
Yeah. No, tartar sauce is disgusting, period.
It.
Not about it. I hated that so much.
The episode essentially opens with the three guys. They're sitting in the mystery machine driving, and they've got like 30 bags of hamburgers.
Oh, there's a lot,
in the back, and they're just chowing down because they're trying to match the tartar sauce taste. And that's when Scooby identifies that it's the Hamburger Haven restaurant that has the same sauce.
It was really funny because Scooby, like, took a bite, and you could see him, like, process it. So he, like, ate the burger, and then he was, like, chilling for a minute, and he was like, I've got it!
Right.
It's the Hamburger Haven!
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why was there hamburger sauce at the crime scene? At all?
Maybe they got it, like, on themselves and missed it. You've worked in food service. You know sometimes you get condiments on yourself.
When you're going to, like, rob a bank?
Yeah, maybe it was, like, a common thing. Maybe they do these gold coin things all the time, and so maybe they were real casual about it, so they were like, it's a Thursday, we gotta go steal those gold coins.
If they do this so often, then they should know not to incriminate themselves with the hamburger sauce.
But
the coins are being hidden in the hamburgers.
But Derek, we watch a lot of murder things, so you know when, like, serial killers, when they start off real good and then after a while they get sloppy, and so maybe that's the thing, like, this was just their sloppy mess up.
I can't accept that. I don't care what bullshit you're gonna try and spew to me to resolve that.
Listen, I hated this episode, so, like,
No, meanwhile, this is the one that I actually liked. I actually liked this one better than the beauty contest one. So they decide to go to Hamburger Haven and get hired there. The guy, I don't know if he's ever actually named. I just called him the HH guy.
I called him Pink Shirt Guy.
Okay, so we both have good nicknames for him.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of making a statement where, like, I don't remember making any kind of, like, ads for hiring people, but I could use the help.
My boss be like...
But then he just, like, immediately hires them on the spot. No background check, none of that. But you think that he would want to do that when he's, like, getting these guys involved without letting them know, like, getting them involved in his crime.
Yeah.
Like, they're making the burgers, and then he just explicitly tells them, like, make the burgers, don't come in this room. Those are the two rules.
I wrote,
like,
Pink Shirt is sus.
Well, I mean, yes, obviously, but I just feel like you would be a little bit more careful about who you're bringing into this establishment when you're committing the crime at the establishment.
Listen, they obviously don't care, okay? They left condiment sauce at the crime scene.
Oh, now you're on my fucking side. Fuck off. You know what? Fuck off.
But I will say what cracked me up is the little gang, they're sitting there making the burgers and everything, and they're like, oh yeah. So then they're like still looking for the gold coins. And my thing is there's a door that says keep out, that he was like, you cannot go in here.
And then he goes in there. So my whole thing would be, is that not where the gold coins are? Like, would you not immediately be like, that's the room I need to get in?
Well,
no, they did make a point of that at one point.
Yeah, but they, like, it was a little while after they were like...
Well, that's when the conveyor belt went wrong, because Scooby decided to mess with the speed on the conveyor belt.
What was his hand in?
I don't know.
He had, like, one hand in a jar, and then he was
I think he was supposed to be putting, like, lettuce or something.
Okay, because he was putting the burger tops on one as they went down, but then he wasn't, like, catching them, so they were falling on the ground.
Well, you know what? They're shooting everywhere, and then later, the HH pink shirt guy comes out, and he's like, you're going to put all these burgers back together. I'm like, no, please don't. Throw those away.
Yeah, throw those away. That's a health hazard.
Because the burgers, they end up just shooting everywhere. I like when he comes out, and he's just like, what's happening? And the guys are, like, hiding behind a table, and they've got little, like, army hats on, and they're just like, we're being attacked.
We've gone to war.
We did skip over that when the HH guy is in the keep out room.
Oh, yeah.
We do meet Otto, which is his accomplice. And
I think it's funny that we don't get the main guy's name, but we know Otto.
We know Otto. Ultimately, they do, like, this whole thing where they're putting the coins in the burgers, and that's just gross.
I mean, maybe they sanitize the coins.
It's just so gross. They come out of the room to find that the place is just a disaster because the guys don't know how to run the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
I did know that one of them did, like, shout the coins.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I think it was Otto.
Like, you just straight up acknowledged your crime.
Yeah.
Like, even if the guys weren't here to investigate you, you still just shouted out the coins.
And, oh, well, they're on the ground. Bro, it doesn't matter. Nobody's eating these burgers anyway.
I don't know.
Like, it's fine. No, what killed me, though, is that after that whole incident, and he yells the coins and everything, and you're going to put these burgers back together. So then the boys are sitting there putting the burgers back together. And Shaggy makes a comment going, oh, they were so worried you think the coins were in the burgers.
Right.
And I'm like, did you not hear him yell the coins?
Exactly.
Sir.
They decide to, like, actually investigate the room itself.
So they take Scrappy, and because they were like, oh, how do we get in there? Scrappy's like, put me in the burger bag and I'll get in there.
Yeah.
And so that's what they do. I did want to make a note that the sound effects for these episodes are so bad. So the sound that this bag makes sounds like farts and squishes.
Yes, the guy he wraps his arms around the bag
and it goes and then like Scrappy goes to open the bag once he's in the room and it's like it's just so gross. The whole incident is disgusting. These sound effects just ugh.
So the guy does come out, grabs the bag that Scrappy's hiding in, they go in, Scrappy discovers what they're doing, and then they find him because he's running out of the room now.
Yeah.
And
they yelled, like, stop him, he knows too much. And
yeah.
They were going to kill him.
Absolutely, they were going to kill him. So now all three of them are running around everywhere. They decide to hide in the van outside of the building.
Yeah.
I made a note of the license plate. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
The license plate number was USA number 1.
Yes. Yes.
So
what is more American than stealing gold coins, putting them in burgers, and sending them to Mexico?
So
good old USA.
I like that when they were in the van, Otto like looks in the van and he's like, I don't see them. It's like, it's not a big van.
No.
There's 2 Great Danes and a 6-foot tall man in there, and you don't see them.
You don't see them. And then like they looked around and they were like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm like, they know your whole plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry
fine.
about it. It's
Let's
fine.
just get to the airport.
Right. So they do go to the airport.
Yeah.
And it was Otto who grabs the bag, or the box. Yeah,
yeah,
the box that has a bunch of the bags of the hamburgers.
He does make a comment that it's
heavier than what it was before.
Yeah.
And the guys jump out.
They
and
leap.
And they looked really confident, too. And Scrappy
You're
yells,
under
you're
arrest.
under arrest, sir. Scrappy. You have no authority here. You are but a private investigator. No, you are a dog.
You are a dog of a private investigator. You're not even... No. You are the nephew of the dog of the private investigator. And really,
he's
Shaggy...
not even a private investigator either. He just works for...
So you are the nephew of the dog of the nephew of the private investigator.
But you're under arrest. Because my thing is, once they're here, what are they going to do?
What are you doing?
They don't have weapons.
They needed to call the FBI and be like, meet us at the airport.
Like, that's why I said from the very beginning, this
Yeah.
is an FBI investigation. This is not a fearless detective agency investigation.
Can you imagine calling the insurance company and being like, so we're in the van.
Not the FBI, the insurance company.
That's who hired him to be like, and they answer the phone.
I'm in tears.
So they answer the phone and they're like, State Farm.
This is Jake from State Farm.
They answer, this is Jake from State Farm. Jake.
Do you have your khakis on?
I'm in a van. I found the coins.
I can't.
Oh, man.
So,
I still hate this episode.
I don't love it either, but so there was a third villain. He's like in the plane, and they did name him, but I don't have his name. I don't care. They decided to just take off in the plane. Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy run as fast as said plane. Don't planes have to go like 90 miles an hour before they can actually take off?
Yeah, they have to go pretty fast.
Really fast. But they kept up with it. Scooby even hops onto the plane.
I'm sorry, how fast can Scooby run?
You want me to Google it?
Yeah,
I'm not
I want you to
Googling. No, I'm not Googling that. It's not fucking possible.
They're fast.
I guess. So now Scooby's on the plane, on the very back.
Yeah, like not in the plane. He's on it.
And he's like pressing on the panels and stuff to maneuver the plane because evidently the pilot just doesn't have any control anymore of said plane.
Yeah. I mean, like that's how the plane moves, but electronically from inside the cabin.
One dog is not going to be able to manipulate that.
No, not with your like one little foot. No.
And at this point, I'm just like, the plane is still going at like top-notch speed.
Yeah.
Take off.
Yeah.
Like, get off the ground. Yeah. If the dog dies, he dies. Like, you guys are committing a federal crime.
Yeah, at
Get
that
out
point,
of the country.
Listen, you're smuggling and crossing borders. At that point, dog murder, least of your worries.
Honestly. So the plane ends up crashing into the airport restaurant. Really unfortunate. I imagine many people died in there because it was open.
Jake from State Farm. A plane just came through my airport
Jake's
restaurant.
Having a lot of phone calls tonight. So the plane loses its wings and its propellers in the restaurant, which is why I also assume people died.
Yeah.
And
there's also no way for it to take off anymore.
It also can't brake anymore because the wheels are gone too.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like skids into a large pipe.
Yeah.
On a nearby construction site.
Yeah.
That just happens to be there too. Scrappy hops into a bulldozer and pushes a boulder against the pipe, so the plane is trapped in there.
They would also suffocate and die, but that's fine, I guess.
It's fine.
It's fine. How'd they get the plane out?
I don't care.
Excuse me, Jake from State Farm.
So now it's the next day, I'm assuming. They're back at the Fearless Detective Agency, and this guy comes in. He works for Mutual Toledo, the insurance company.
Yeah, Jake from State Farm.
It's Jake, yeah. And he's just like, I'm here to pick up the coins.
And there's just a bunch of burgers sitting there.
He's like, oh no, how are we going to get the coins out?
Just like the Mexicans were going to.
I guess you either eat them or you just pick them apart. And Shaggy ends up like spinning it on his finger, and Scooby's eating the coins out of the burger one by one. I don't know how many coins there are, but that's going to take a while. So I hope that insurance company guy has some time.
Hey, we don't know when their last lunch break was, so.
Well, no one's going to know anyway because it's on the inside of the fucking door.
I wrote this as like a side thing, so I didn't see it until just now. But all of the bad guys had this really bad Russian accent. I don't know if you noticed
So maybe they
that.
weren't going to Mexico. I don't know where they were going.
I don't know where they were going. I don't know. But they all had like horrendously bad Russian accents. So that was my takeaway.
All right. That's all I had to say about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now going to move on to our last episode of the day, being Runaway Scrappy. Again, this is a Yabba-Doo and Scrappy-Doo episode, so Scooby and Shaggy are not here today. It is rather Deputy Dusty and Yabba-Doo. Again, I'm always welcome to see these guys. I don't really like Deputy Dusty all that much, but...
Deputy Dusty is just like a knockoff Shaggy.
He's just really wimpy.
Yeah,
like, Shaggy seems more
like Shaggy can be
to
brave,
me
yeah,
than
when he
him.
needs to be. But like, yeah, I don't love Deputy Dusty. I do love Yabba. I think I said it the last time we had a Yabba episode, but I think that if Yabba and Dusty would have raised Scrappy, we would still see Scrappy in today's Scooby-Doo episodes. I think he would still be a sweet little pup instead of angry.
And villainous.
And villainous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we start off the episode with the mosquito in the house.
Yes. And Dusty's being terrorized by it.
Yeah. And don't worry, because Yabba is like a mosquito catching.
Yeah, he said that he was a mosquito hunter from way back.
Yeah. I don't know when way back is.
Or why.
Yeah.
I mean...
Where did they all grow up?
I don't know, but that's just such a specific thing for his background.
Yeah.
I always forget that Yabba has triangle spots, not round spots, like his brother. I always think that's interesting with him. So,
it's because he's a firebender, so he's a little bit different.
Now, some antics happen, and the fly ends up underneath Dusty's hat, and it starts flying away. Scrappy pulls out a big fish net and tries to capture it, and I think he, like, just hops and kind of stomps on the hat.
Yeah, he
for a
stomps
moment,
on the
doesn't
hat
he?
to try and kill the mosquito, but it doesn't work.
Dusty was pissed about that.
Okay, so I wanted to figure out why Dusty was so pissed.
It's because of the hat. He was mad at first that Scrappy stepped on the hat.
Well,
I was new.
Yeah. I looked up because he goes, "Oh, it was my new Stinson hat," and I knew that was a real hat, so I looked it up. Those things can range anywhere from $70 to $5,000. So I'd be a little upset if you stomped on my $5,000 hat also.
But also don't be wearing that to work. Like, given where they are, because keep in mind, guys, with the Yabba-Doo show, yeah, it takes place like in the 70s or 80s, but it's like a Wild West type setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got horses and ghost towns and guns. This is a really like rough and tough, rusty area. So Dusty, I'm sorry, don't be wearing your luxurious fancy hat to work.
Well, no, see, because that's supposed to be like your thing. Like, you know, when an FBI agent or whatever like wears like a leather jacket, right? Like that's their thing. I don't know why I got into this dude mode. But like they'll wear it because that's like their thing. But I mean, I don't know. I'd be a little upset if I had like a really nice dress and I wore it because you have to, you have to wear it.
But again, they're at work.
But where else is he gonna wear it? He's always at work.
And anyway, you were the one that got your hat stolen by a mosquito. Like,
you can't blame that on him. That's not his fault.
So Scrappy ends up, he gets yelled at by Dusty, and he's just like, oh, okay. And he kind of feels lousy for a moment.
I do feel bad because Scrappy, listen, I don't like Scrappy, but like in the Yabba-Doo episodes are the only time I actually like feel anything for him. Scrappy just wanted to be a hero. Like he was straight up just like, I just wanted to like fight crime like you guys. Or like, I just wanted to like be cool like you. And like, I just kind of felt bad. Like I was like, man, like he's a kid. Like.
He turns on the TV and sees a news report about this train that's going to be coming into town in the morning carrying a really valuable amount of silver. Why this is on the news, I don't know.
There's nothing else going on. They have nothing else to report.
Why don't you make a report about the mosquito that's stealing people's $5,000 hats? Like, but that's just inviting two people who are like going to coordinate a plan to steal the silver. Because like now they know when the train's coming, what's on it, even though the train doesn't actually run in the town at the correct time because this entire episode happens at night and not in the morning. But
listen, Scooby-Doo shows never know what time of day it is.
I know. That's one of our main things with like the Scooby-Doo movies. But anyway, so Scrappy's like just telling Dusty like, hey, like we should help out with that in case anybody tries to steal the silver.
Because he wants to be a hero.
And Dusty kind of like just snaps him and is like, that's something for the federal marshals to worry about. I'm like, dude, I do feel like you should be communicating with the feds. Like, if they're here in your jurisdiction, I feel like you should still be communicating with them.
At least reach out to him and be like, hey, like, I'm a one-man crew, but, like, if you need it, I can help while you're in the town or whatever.
Well, I think that's also just standard procedure on the FBI's part, or the feds, or just in general. Like, don't they usually have to, like, come to the jurisdiction and just be like, hey, we're here?
Usually they, like, scout it out, yeah. But also
that's what I've seen on Criminal Minds.
Yeah,
but
also there were no marshals.
Well, yeah, and we don't ever actually see anybody with...
Yeah.
So, like, you are right there.
So regardless, like, Dusty should have been on it because the marshals weren't.
Because no one was watching the train.
No.
Like, so we'll get to it. But Scrappy goes to bed early because Dusty...
He's sad.
Well, he was sad, but Dusty actually told him to go to bed.
Yeah.
So he's laying in bed. We see a cutaway to the two robbers of the episode. Mm-hmm. They're on their horses, and they're like, we're going to rob that train. Ha, ha, ha. I only got one of their names being Pete, who is the skinny one. Mm-hmm. I don't think we ever got the name of the larger set guy.
No, I didn't get his name.
I didn't really bother with it.
I didn't care.
But we cut back. Yabba and Dusty are getting ready for bed, and the mosquito is back, and it's terrorizing Dusty again. Yabba jumps onto the bed and tries to get it, and they're both talking about it, calling it a pest and stuff like that. Scrappy overhears this conversation thinking that they're talking about him, not the mosquito. So he thinks that they're calling him a pest and they're being annoyed by him.
He's like, they don't love me, I'm gonna run away.
So, like, okay, impressionable children, yeah. I get it, they're impressionable, they can get their feelings hurt real bad. But this is just a conversation that you overheard, and it's about a mosquito. He, like, just jumped from a 0 to an 11, where he's just like, they don't love me
But think
anymore.
about it from Scrappy's point of view. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. But you'll never hear me be this empathetic towards him ever again. But he, like, left his mom, or, like, his mom sent him to be with Scooby. I don't know if we ever got that full, like, story on if she
exists. Yeah, but go on.
Like, so okay, think about it that way, where your mom kicks you out, and then Scooby, like, I mean, I'm sure Scooby didn't kick him out, but Scooby, like, sends him to go be with Yabba. So, like, at that point, you're just bouncing around the family because nobody wants you. So, at that point, you're probably always waiting for, like, that family member to be done with you and send you off somewhere else. So, he's like, oh, well, this is it. Like, they don't love me anymore.
I think you're making his story to be a little more tragic than what it really is. Because I'm pretty sure, like, he just said, hey, Mom, I'm going to go and live with Uncle Scooby for a bit.
Scooby's a badass. I'd rather be there.
And now he's also just kind of spending the summer, I'm guessing, with Uncle Yabba. I don't know. But regardless of his backstory or his relationship with his family, it's just straight up like, they don't love me anymore, so I'm going to run away. We don't see him do it on screen, but he did leave a note for them, which they find later. So he goes to walk the tracks, and he's going to go and find a new life. He's got his like, over-the-shoulder satchel, and he's just on his way. He's sitting on a side of the tracks, and he's really sad, and he makes a note saying that he wished that he could help Deputy Dusty and Uncle Yabba prevent crime. Like, that's all he wants to do.
That's all he wants to do. He just wants to be a hero.
And the robbers are now here. So they mentioned that they had someone that was going to help them get on the train and steal the silver, but I guess they backed out or didn't show.
So the guy's name was Shorty, and he just didn't show. So my note was, where is Shorty? Bro, you got a job to do. Like, where are you at?
He's not reliable.
He's not.
With a name like Shorty, I don't know.
Well, and the whole reason...
It's really questionable.
The only reason that they needed Shorty was because he was so small he could fit into, like, the train thing.
Right.
So I assume that's why his name is Shorty. I guess
or maybe it's a nickname.
Yeah, so it'd
Either
be
way,
like
I don't
Shorty,
like it.
Pete, and no name, you know?
Yep. Well, they recruit Scrappy anyway because he's of size. They trick him into thinking that he is...
Helping
the federal marshals, yes. And they tell him that the silver that's on the train has been stolen.
Yeah, so he has to go on the train and steal the stolen silver, but why wouldn't that have been on the news thing?
Well, for one, he's not at the TV where he can see the news because he's walking on the train tracks. Yes, but it said it wasn't coming until morning.
So so they hijacked it onto a second train.
Yep. You give me an alternative and I'll listen, but I don't think you can. That's why Scrappy believes that.
Honestly,
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's why Scrappy believes that's what's happening.
It's valid, I guess. I'll take it. You gave me the whatever one on the other episode. I'll give you this one.
So he gets on the train. He successfully gets the silver out.
He only gets like 6 pieces though. I don't know how much silver you need, but like.
Well, apparently it's going to make them millionaires when they cross the border. So, I mean, that's enough for me.
Is silver really, like, worth it?
Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm not looking it up. You guys, if you know, tell us. I'm not taking the time to look it up. I don't care.
Derek doesn't love me. You guys have to do it.
So, during that whole spiel, Yabba and Dusty find the note, and they're like, oh my god, like, we were really hard on him. Well, no, Dusty was really hard on him. Yabba didn't do anything.
Yabba just was an uncle. He just chilled.
They go to try and find Scrappy. So they encounter Pete and the no-name dude, and they decide to dig a tunnel underground to try to capture them. A couple notes here. So, for one, they recognize these guys from the sounds of it. So maybe they're recurring characters. So maybe the guy does have a name and I either just missed it or it's been said in another episode. I don't know.
Because they had said, oh, he looks familiar. Those are train robbers.
Is that what Yabba said?
So
okay.
I wonder if maybe it was on, like, the news thing and we missed it, or maybe, like,
I don't know.
They're just known train robbers. I will say, wait, because I don't know if you noticed this, but the one guy's beard, the no-name guy, oh, no, the skinny guy, so Skinny Pete, his beard kept disappearing.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay, I took pictures as I was watching the episode because I was like, it happened so many times.
My note for this is when the train got stopped so that Scrappy could rob it, they used a boulder to block the way.
Yeah.
But now the boulder's gone, but they have a train crossing gate there now, which wasn't there before. So that was kind of annoying.
Yeah. Because they could have had it where, like, the train crossing gate was down, and so that's why the train had to stop.
But no, instead they use a boulder.
Yeah, it's fine.
The guys overcome Dusty and Yabba and tie them to the gate.
Yeah.
And gag them so they can't speak. Scrappy gets out. He hops on the back of the horse with the robbers, and they're on their way. And Scrappy even says, he's like, I really wish that Yabba and Dusty could see me helping you guys. Like, he's really still has them on the brain. Like, I really wish they could see me doing this heroic stuff. I like that when the robbers and Scrappy get to Ghost Town, which is the name of the nearby town they go to, the one guy just knocks Scrappy off, and he's like, we don't need you anymore.
We don't need you anymore, bye.
I'm surprised they didn't just leave him there at the train. Like, he could have been, like, arrested as, like, an accomplice, and then, like, he could have taken the fall.
Yeah.
And then the guys could have run off into the distance, never to be seen again. But no, they took him to Ghost Town and then abandoned him there.
Yeah.
And then stayed there.
Yeah.
Because they go to that saloon in Ghost Town.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the place is called Ghost Town. I can't get over that.
I forgot to mention it, but when Yabba and Dusty see the train robbers and they, like, go over to them, Yabba makes a comment of, like, he had surrounded and hogtied an entire Johnny Benko gang. So my thought was, do you think that he could also take the Art Swindlers gang?
I think he has good odds if he can breathe fire.
That's
Scooby can't breathe fire.
Scooby cannot breathe fire.
So, I don't know. I like that the saloon in Ghost Town is the only thing that's open.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a ghost town, but the fact that there's anything open.
But I didn't think it was open.
The lights are on.
I mean, that doesn't mean much.
I don't know.
Because I didn't see
But they
anybody
also
working.
weren't suspicious of two women just appearing there as well.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
Those two women being Yabba and Dusty in disguise.
Yeah.
They have nets underneath their dresses that they're going to use to try and capture them. But what I don't like is that when they came out to greet Pete and the no-name dude, Yabba, like, tells Dusty the plan right there.
Yeah,
I'm like, this should have been explained before you revealed yourself.
I imagine that he was like, let's dress as women, and then Dusty was like, say no more.
And, like, he had it packed.
Yeah.
Like, he was
like, say no more.
He's always
boom.
ready for drag.
Yeah, and then they got to the table, and then Dusty was like, say more.
So, yeah, they all decided to dance. I think it was Pete who's just like, are y'all, like, real, genuine dancing women? No.
No, I'm not.
Actually,
I have 2 left feet, but I still want to dance with you, please.
Also, I'm a man and a dog. So they start dancing. And
I'm not just a lady, I'm also a dog.
So Yabba's tail accidentally comes out of his dress. And This is when the one guy's just like, Pete, your girl's a dog.
And Pete goes, hey, man, like, I know she's not pretty, but you don't gotta call her names. And that right there...
Hey, you know, he doesn't think
that's
she's
true
all that pretty.
feminism.
Doesn't think that she's all that pretty, but you don't gotta be mean about it.
No, that's the thing. You don't have to, like... Listen, I know I got my bad days, but you don't gotta be mean to me about it.
And he's being a gentleman, he still continued to dance.
Yeah, he was chilling.
I mean, until they realize that Dusty is not a woman, but...
Also, the funniest thing is that Dusty's wig is the exact, like, hair that Dusty has.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't
because
notice that.
they, like, the wig was more tidier. Like, the hair was tidier.
Okay.
Because when they ripped off the wig, it was the same length and hair color as Dusty's hair. And I was like, so he really could have just, like, brushed his hair and been fine.
So they capture them again. They throw them in the old jail of Ghost Town. And I don't remember how Scrappy... Oh, because when they're in the jail... This is what happened. So when they're in the jail, Dusty gave Yabba the chili snacks.
Yeah.
And Yabba breathed fire. He sends up smoke signals to Scrappy, just saying, like, hey, we're in trouble. We're in the jail in Ghost Town. He comes and rescues them. I noted that when the robbers are escaping, they escape by motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd the horses go?
I think they just left him.
Okay.
Left him in the ghost
That's
town.
really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So...
Maybe they, like, slap their butts and let them run off into the
wild?
Into the wild.
Okay. I think it was Yabba who lassos them with a rope.
Yeah.
I
mean, he can hog tie, like, an entire gang, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They managed to get out of that, but then Scrappy planted a tumbleweed that had an anvil hidden in it.
An anvil in it! Dude, I screamed. I was like, holy shit.
Right. So, they go flying into a billboard, and it says, like, welcome to Ghost Town. And I'm just like, yep. My last note was that Scrappy, like, captures everybody, and then he's like, okay, well, I'll be on my way, because you guys don't love me anymore. And Yabba, like, reassures him and is being like, we're the Three Musketeers. Like, come on, buddy. Like, stop. But Dusty doesn't say anything really about it, and he doesn't apologize either for being hard on him in the beginning of the episode, so...
Dusty's a piece of shit.
I just really don't like Deputy Dusty, and I'm just going to leave that as my last note of the episode.
My last note was that Yabba is such a good role model, which, like, I stand by.
I like Yabba as an uncle.
I want to be Yabba. Like I want to have that. Like, when you have kids, I want to be their Yabba. I want to, like, be like, we're the Three Musketeers, man. Like, come on.
I'm just picturing Shannon, like, dressing up as a dog that
No,
breathes fire with a rope. And
I mean,
I'm Uncle Yabba.
Me showing up to Christmas, breathing fire.
Oh, no.
That's definitely going to happen at least once now.
What have I done?
Let me buy my Yabba costume on Amazon real quick.
Yeah, because they're in high stock and they're on their Amazon Prime. They'll be here in 2 days. So those were the episodes we reviewed. Let's start with Beauty Contest Caper. What are you going to award that on the Scooby Snackometer?
I give it a 6.
Oh, okay.
I liked it. I had a fun time watching it.
Yeah, we disagree. But
I'm going to be honest. Okay, let me be 100% honest here. I was absolutely exhausted. And I thought that episode was funny as hell. With the random shit that was going on, I was laughing so hard at the episode at some points. Same with the Runaway Scrappy episode. I was laughing and, like, crying. I didn't cry, but, like, I felt, yeah. I gave it a 6. I stand by it.
No, I'm giving it a 2.
Holy shit.
I can't. No, the monster sucked ass. We forgot to mention the fact that...
Don't talk to Bruno like that.
I will talk to Bruno like that, because I don't even know what he was supposed to be. Like, is he just naturally like that, or is that a mask and a costume? I don't know.
Did he fall?
We don't actually ever see it.
Is it like the start of a Marvel movie? Did he fall into a pit of hair?
I don't fucking know. But regardless, we don't ever get an explanation on what he is or who he really is, to be honest.
He's Bruno.
Miss Belgravia is a Jonathan Johnson at its finest.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I meant to mention that when we were reviewing that one, where she's committing the crime, but then also goes and hires the detective agency. I know that technically she said that the judges insisted that they hire the detective agency, but then
she didn't have to go.
Don't send her.
Yeah.
Because then now she's aware that there's an investigation.
Also, she got to pick the investigators, and she tried to pick the stupidest ones she could find.
I think that happened with the other one, too.
Yeah.
So, all around, Jonathan Johnson at its finest.
Yeah.
So, don't love that. Don't love the monster. Don't love the story. Miss Africa really ruined it for me at the end.
Yeah, that didn't age well.
I'm giving it a 2. I'm giving that one a 2.
Okay. What about Stakeout at the Takeout? What'd you give that one?
I gave that one a 4. So...
Okay.
I liked it better. I thought the plot was just a little bit more interesting. Beauty pageants just aren't something I'm ever thrilled to see. And it's stupid. Like, it's not... What I appreciate is, like, it's a stupid plan. It's a stupid story. It's very Scooby-Doo stupid story. But it's not stupid in the way where it's convoluted. Where, like, they're doing things that just straight up don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're hiding the coins in hamburgers. I don't know.
You just got so serious.
Well, I just want to really illustrate what they're thinking, okay, as the writers. They're going to hide them in hamburgers.
Okay.
I don't know why we're choosing hamburgers, but we are.
We're at a pitch meeting. You have to pitch it to me.
So they're going to hide coins in hamburgers.
Okay.
Why hamburgers? The guys like food.
Okay.
So hamburgers.
I'm in.
And they're going to deliver the hamburgers on a plane.
Okay.
To another country.
Do we know what country it is?
No. But
should the bad guys have an accent so we can guess what accent it is?
Yes, but make it fucking awful.
Okay.
Like, you have an idea of what the accent is, but it doesn't sound correct, so that you can't technically say that it's being racist.
Okay.
So, but that's see, that's my point. Is that like it's stupid at the finest that it can be for Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
But it's not convoluted to where, like, I'm questioning, wait, how did they do that? That doesn't make any sense. How do they do... Like, you know, like, I'm not confused watching it. Especially for a 7-minute format.
Yeah, if I'm asking why in a 7-minute format, you fucked up.
You did. And that does happen with this show.
It does sometimes, yeah.
So I appreciate that it didn't happen here. It's not the greatest story, which is why I'm not really thrilled with saying, like, just neutral 5. But I do appreciate what it is.
Okay. I gave it a 3.
Okay.
For all the same reasons that you gave it a 4, but mine were just negative. I felt similarly to how you felt, but just negative. So, like, like where you were like, it is as dumb can get. Like, I was like, yes.
Actually, it is.
Runaway Scrappy.
That one, I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
So that was my favorite of the 3 today. I thought the story was pretty simple. It gave us a little bit of a sympathetic moment for Scrappy. And it wasn't all that complicated. It was really straightforward. That's really all I need here.
Okay. I loved this episode. I was living for it.
Okay.
I gave this episode an 8.
You're not serious. It did not deserve an 8.
I gave this episode
no,
an
it
8.
didn't. Explain.
I loved this episode. There was like, I loved this episode. So it starts, you know, with like the they don't love me, I'm gonna run away, and I literally texted you and I was like, dude, this episode is sad. Then I don't know, like I liked this episode. There were fun things happening. I don't know how to explain it. I know that I rated it an 8. I don't know if I fully stand by it, but that's what I'm giving it.
You don't fully stand by it because you know I'm angry at you right now.
I don't.
I'm sitting here in silence just being like an 8.
I don't deal well with people being upset with me, so I'm not going to stand by this hard, but like I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
Right now.
So, okay, well, those are our scores for each episode individually. When we tally them all up, average it out for the trio, that Groovy Scoobcast is going to award Beauty Contest Caper, Stakeout at the Takeout, and Runaway Scrappy a 5 out of 10 on the Scooby Snackometer. I think it really meets everything that we think. Pretty neutral overall. Yeah. We liked some, we didn't like others. So I'll stick with it.
I like it.
Fun fact of the week is from Scoobypedia, and it's about Runaway Scrappy, being that this is the second time that we ever see Scrappy cry in the show. The first time being when he was born in Scrappy's birthday. Because he's a little bitch.
So the kid, he never cries. He cried once when he was born, because that's, like, scientifically one of the most traumatic things that you can go through. And then because he thought Uncle Yabba didn't love him anymore. Yep. That is, I stand by giving an 8. No, I stand by that now. The kid has only cried twice.
I'm so mad that reinforced your 8. I can't believe you. So next week, we're going to be moving on to the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show. Shannon, would you like to randomize what episodes we'll be watching?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go.
So next week, we are going to be watching The Mark of Scooby and The Crazy Carnival Caper.
Okay. I don't think I'm familiar with these. I'm not really familiar with a lot of these, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think I ever watched this series, so...
Here's a really long premise from Scoobypedia for The Mark of Scooby.
Get ready.
The gang goes to the Old California Festival, where they see a play involving Scooby's favorite hero, El Sabueso the Hound, who helps the poor. Later that night, while camping out, Scooby dreams he is Al Scubo and Scrappy is Scrappito, and they must save Senorita Daphne and Senor Shaggy from the Commandante.
Okay.
Commandante.
That kind of, it makes me think of, like, the A team, B team, or whatever it was, that one episode where, like, they were all secret agents or whatever.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Here is a premise for the other episode we'll be reviewing, being The Crazy Carnival Caper. The kids return to their high school for the Central High Carnival and run into their old science teacher, Mr. McDabble, who has created a ruby laser that can cut through the hardest metal. But before too long, the ruby ends up missing, and the kids have to find out what happened. I have seen this episode, and I don't remember liking it, so it's going to be a fun time for everybody. Just a reminder, guys, I think we failed to mention this before. This is a series where they have 2 11-minute shorts, so it's 2-episode format instead of 3 or 1 long one.
Yeah.
So in Scooby-Doo news, I noticed on the Hot Topic website that they added a ton of Box Lunch's Scoob t-shirt designs. There's like hundreds of them, so lots to pick through. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I never really got around them because they're expensive, but they look really neat, so go and check them out. I haven't seen anything about that new exclusive Pop Funko being restocked, so maybe keep your eyes open for that. Also, a reminder about the Scooby-Doo and Guess Who DVD set. The complete first season's coming out next month, January 18th/19th, roughly. You'll be able to probably order that on like Walmart, Target websites, maybe Amazon. I'm pretty excited about that. Although, I was thinking about it today. I'm mad that that one's getting released before the second season of Be Cool Scooby-Doo gets released on DVD.
Yeah.
That kind of upsets me a lot.
Yeah.
I know that they're all on the Boomerang app now, but...
It's nice to have a hard copy.
It is nice to have a hard copy. I always prefer to have a hard copy of everything. Well, and
before it was even on the Boomerang app, like, because
It wasn't even available.
No, it wasn't, because I had to go to, like, the deep, dark depths of the web
to find some of these episodes.
Find them, and I was like, do you want to watch this with me? And you were like, no, I'll just wait. It's fine. Like...
Right. I think it's unfortunate that that one's not on a DVD format yet, when the first season is.
And those are, like, I'm sorry, that's, like...
That's one of our favorite series.
It is. It's up there. It is, I want to say, top 3 of my favorite series.
Yeah.
And I fought to like that one so hard, but it is. I love that series.
Yeah. So if you'd like to talk to us about anything we discussed today, being the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show, or what we're reviewing next week, anything Scooby-Doo related for that matter, you can find us on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram at That Groovy Scoobcast and Twitter at Groovy Scoobcast.
You can check us out on YouTube at That Groovy Scoobcast, or email us at thatgroovyscoobcast@gmail.com. You can also check out our website, www.thatgroovyscoobcast.com.
And with that, we hope that you enjoyed That Groovy Scoobcast.
Come back next week for Scooby Snack Fill time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.